These past 3 years have presented many challenges for students, teachers, and school leaders. What this time has shown us, though, is that this is the perfect opportunity to start fresh. Many school districts are using this season of disruption to think about how they can improve their strategic plans. If you are a school leader who is beginning to think about redeveloping your strategic plan, there are several ideas to keep in mind as you begin this process. In this video, I'll be sharing 5 tips that will ensure you have a successful foundation to start mapping out your strategic plan. Before we get started, if you're looking for more content around strategic planning or other topics such as teacher retention, leadership skills, and more, check out our website at edelements.com for tons of free resources, or send us a message to see how we can help your district and schools create a learning environment where educators and students thrive. All right, let's get to it. Tip number 1, create connection with your community. From the beginning, it's important to create a connection with your schools and community by being transparent about the strategic planning process. At EdElements, the first phase of strategic planning is plan and align. During this phase, we work with district leaders and the steering team to envision what we want the strategic planning process to look like, brainstorming and gathering input from our constituents. So ask yourself, who are the constituents whose voices we need to hear from? What communication process do you have in place to let constituents know about how they can be involved in this strategic plan? The more aware the community is about the process, the more willing they are to contribute and share what they would like to see in the strategic plan. Listen to the community and see what their values and goals are, and include them in the process. Create with, not for them. Tip number 2, be aware of the context of your school and community. Before developing your new strategic plan, be aware of the history and context of your school and community. What does your district do well? Take this as an opportunity to celebrate your district's strengths and what you want to continue to see. At the same time, address what hasn't been going well and where you would like to see improvements. What are your district's unique challenges? Listen to different members of the community to ensure that they are also sharing the areas where they would like to see improvements. Tip number 3, research past strategic plans and determine what you like or dislike. Click the link in the description below to see some examples. Are there any specific strategic plans that jump out to you? Are there any that are inspiring? With your steering team, create a list of non-negotiables of must-haves and nice-to-haves. Share this list with your community to make sure that they have the time and space to react and give feedback. Tip number 4, be responsive and flexible. At Education Elements, we have a strategic planning methodology that outlines the work being done in each phase. At times, we have to adapt the timeline to make sure that we are meeting the district's needs. For example, we may realize that we need to hear more from a certain set of constituents after our first initial constituent engagement round. This means we need to offer more creative opportunities to engage with them, like moving focus groups or town halls to community centers where families frequent and gather more often, rather than offering them at schools that may be far from where community members work and live. Being flexible ensures that we are responding to the current reality of your district and will ensure that the strategic plan is created with the needs of your district in mind. Tip number 5, think about implementation and sustainability. When designing your district's strategic plan, make sure you are thinking about its capacity. Have an accurate sense of the resources in your district. While you might be excited to create a new initiative through your strategic plan, it will be more difficult to sustain if there are few resources or if there is no community buy-in. If you focus on a few specific focus areas or pillars instead of many, there's a greater likelihood that your strategic plan will be implemented. Start with SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, and build your plan from there. We want to ensure that this strategic plan is implemented and monitored past its launch phase. Developing a new strategic plan is not easy, especially at this time. But if not now, then when? Hopefully these tips will make the process more manageable. By engaging with constituents early on and being open to collaboration, your strategic plan will embody and be representative of all members and students in your community. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, let us know by hitting that like button. If you want more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when we upload new videos. See you next time.